So hello everybody. I thought I'd make again a short video about another topic this time. It's uranium glass, and I think quite some people are out there collecting uranium glass as it's a quite convenient material actually, and there's no need to be afraid of radioactivity. Those materials are quite harmless actually. And the uranium glass looks quite nice. They have this, how to say, greenish, yellowish kind of tint. The color really shines, especially in the sunlight, and especially if you turn on UV light. So that's what the people want to see. With uranium glass, you can easily identify uranium glass with a UV light flashlight. So there are also UV LEDs out there, so where you can go to a flea market and hunt for such objects. But what you can also do with uranium glass, besides collecting those items, is to do gamma spectrometry actually. And there is a small but nice detail around this type of glass. You can find historic uranium glass made before World War II. So the great era of uranium glass is actually the late 19th century and early 20th century. And there has been quite a decline during World War II. And nowadays there's also the opportunity to purchase modern uranium glass. So here in Europe, for instance, you find in Czechia and Poland some companies who do modern uranium glass. And why I'm bringing up this gamma spectrometry topic is you can identify if a uranium glass is probably vintage glass or if it is uranium glass. You can actually see this in the spectra. So what I did is I did some gamma spectrometry measurements with those vintage uranium glasses which my sister has collected. She didn't even know that this is uranium glass, so this is quite funny actually, so a fun fact. She lent those glasses to me to make some experiments, and I collected some gamma spectra of those. And what I also did is I purchased a modern uranium glass, and this is this one here. So this is a uranium glass block which you can find and buy on eBay. Those are typically used as a test source for Geiger counters or for scintillation counters. It has quite more activity than those schnapps glasses which you can see here, the vintage glasses. Around about 40 to 50 counts per second, so the normal background here is 10, 12 counts per second. So you see that this is a quite safe and quite nice test source that you can buy on eBay quite easily. But this is a modern uranium glass, right? So I also did a measurement of this modern uranium glass. And recently I also bought those uranium pearls, and the vendor from eBay told me that those pearls are actually from 1940 in the last century, so before World War II. And I also wanted to examine those with gamma spectrometry, so that's what I did. And what you can see is, I can show the spectra now. What you can see in the spectra is you see three spectra on top of each other. The green spectrum is those uranium glass pearls, which should be from 1940, and the pink spectrum is this vintage glass here, which should be Art Deco, so early 20th century. So I would say maybe from 1910 to 1920, something like this, so also before World War II. And the blue line, which you can see, the blue spectrum, is from this modern uranium glass. But when you have a closer look to those spectra, you will see that there is a small but decisive difference between those spectra. And this is happening actually in the X-ray region of uranium-235, so around about 10 to 15 kilo electron volts, and also in the region of 190 kilo electron volts. So those two signals for uranium-235 are actually different. And that's interesting because before World War II, to produce those vintage glasses, uranium glasses, normal uranium ore has been used to produce the material which gives the glass its color. And this has changed dramatically after World War II, because after that time quite some depleted uranium came as a byproduct of the atomic bomb production, as well as civil uranium production from nuclear power plants. So what means depleted uranium? It means it has less uranium-235. And as this waste material was much cheaper than using fresh uranium ore, it has been used to produce modern uranium glass like this one here. And you can actually see this in the spectra. So the vintage glasses from the early 20th century, or maybe also if you find some from the late 19th century, those glasses show the normal relationship between uranium-238 and uranium-235. So in this normal relationship you have 99.3% of uranium-238 and 0.7% of uranium-235. And this gets reversed for the modern uranium glass, and there you have for depleted uranium a ratio of 99.7% of uranium-238 and 0.3% of uranium-235. And you can see this actually in the spectra. You can see this, that the blue spectrum for this modern uranium glass has much less intensity for those two uranium-235 peaks. So to be precise here, this is not a 100% proof of anything, but it is a strong indication. So of course nowadays we can't exclude that some companies might also use natural uranium ore these days to produce uranium glass. But most likely most of the modern uranium glass after World War II has been manufactured with depleted uranium. So I will also put a scientific publication around this topic in the description of this video, so you can have a read on this by yourself. So this is a short video about this topic. I hope this is helpful for one or the other from you. I would be happy if any of you could repeat this experiment if you have vintage glass and modern uranium glass, and also give me feedback if you observe the same. So that would be interesting also to hear from others. So that's it. Take care. Bye bye.